Hello, my name is Alan Murphy with Gillespie Murphy. I want to talk to you about myths about bankruptcy. You can get all sorts of information, but sometimes that information is incorrect. Yes, you're right. Google is not always perfect. Internet is not always perfect. So I want to try to set the record straight about bankruptcy specifically. Here are some of the myths that people find out about. Sometimes it's from the internet, sometimes it's from family members. They really want to try to give you some good information, but it's misinformation. Let me start with number one. People always ask us, I'm going to lose my property when I file bankruptcy. Absolutely not true. The purpose of bankruptcy is to protect your property. If you file a Chapter 7, you get to keep your property as long as you make your payments on your house and your car. The purpose is to get rid of that debt that's dragging you down, like credit cards and medical bills, so you can make sure you can make those payments on the house and the car. Chapter 13 bankruptcy is specifically designed to stop foreclosures and repossessions so you don't lose that property. So that's a myth that is debunked. You do not lose your property just by filing bankruptcy. Secondly, people think, well, I can't have a bank account, or I can't have a savings account or a retirement account. Absolutely not true. The purpose of bankruptcy is so you have a better future. You can have a bank account, so you can have a savings account, a retirement account. Bankruptcy is designed to help you now, but also in the future. How are you helped in the future? By having that retirement account. You get to keep that retirement account. That's a myth. You get to keep your bank accounts, you get to keep your retirement accounts and your savings accounts. Also, people think, well, if I file bankruptcy, the creditors are still going to harass me and it's not going to eliminate the debt. Not true. Bankruptcy will eliminate that debt. That's the whole purpose. We file the bankruptcy, the stay is in place, stops the collectors from calling you and harassing you, and that debt is eliminated for all of eternity. It is gone. They cannot come back after you to try to collect. Sometimes one of the myths is that you can't have a business. You can't operate a business or own a business. Again, not true. We have people that come to us quite often. They're in a business and their goal is to maintain that business, to try to stay in business and keep it going. You get to keep your business. We can reorganize the debt, eliminate certain debt, reorganize certain debt, protect the property of the business so you can continue with that business. The other thing is people think, well, I'll never be able to get credit again. Does bankruptcy hurt your credit a little bit? Yes, it does. But here's the beauty of it. Once you file a bankruptcy, it will eliminate certain debts so your income to debt ratio improves. So your credit score actually can improve. So it's a good thing, not a bad thing necessarily. Also, people are always worried about everybody's going to know about me filing bankruptcy. Another myth. The only people that know about you filing bankruptcy is the creditor, the people you owe money to. They get notice of the bankruptcy. Your neighbor doesn't have to know. Your family member doesn't have to know. Your church members don't have to know. Only the creditors know that you filed bankruptcy. So don't worry about that problem. People always think, oh, I've heard that if I file bankruptcy, I'm a bad person, I'm a failure. You're not a bad person. Life may have thrown you some curves. Life may have thrown some things at you that make you feel like you're a bad person, but you're not. You're not a failure. Life happens, but bankruptcy can rejuvenate that life, give you a better future for you and your family. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel like a failure, because you're not. Another myth is people think you can't file but once. Not true. You can file bankruptcy multiple times because things happen in your life once and it can happen again. So you can file again if you have to. And that's something we can help you understand, those filing periods and whether you can and possibly file a second bankruptcy if you need it. Hopefully it won't happen, but if you do, we can talk to you about that and help you with that. Also, people think that they can't afford bankruptcy. They've heard it's so expensive. Again, not true. The reason not true is this. We offer a payment program, oftentimes in bankruptcy. Give you an example. Let's say if you owe $40,000 in credit cards, and it's going to cost $2,000 to file the bankruptcy. Which is easier to pay, $40,000 in credit cards or $2,000 for the bankruptcy? And you might say, well, if I had $2,000, I could pay the credit cards. You're not going to be able to pay credit cards of $40,000 out of $2,000. Well, we can help you with a payment program to pay for the bankruptcy to eliminate that $40,000 of credit card debt. So it is affordable. Also, if you do a Chapter 13, it's a small down payment, $500 down or so, and that takes care of getting the bankruptcy filed, and everything else is covered through the bankruptcy plan, so it makes it easily affordable for you and your family to get that fresh start that you deserve. Also, people think, well, if I file the bankruptcy, I'm just never going to be able to have credit again. I've already mentioned that before. You'll be able to get credit. We have people who file a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, and while they're in the bankruptcy, they're able to buy cars, they're able to buy a house, kind of depends on your circumstances, but we work with people all the time about those situations. It's not the end of the world. It can be the beginning of a new and brighter world for you. Another myth about bankruptcy is whether or not both spouses have to file a bankruptcy. Again, that's not true. Both spouses can file a bankruptcy if that's what's needed, and that's what we look at. We determine your options. It may be that if all the debt is in the wife's name, she needs to file bankruptcy. If all the debt is in the husband's name, he needs to file bankruptcy. If they have a lot of joint debt, it may be that both need to file bankruptcy, but it's not necessary. You can file jointly, you can file individually. It's whatever's best for you and the family. We'll help you analyze that and make that determination. So don't go into this thinking, oh, we both have to file. It's not true. Also, people think that they can't eliminate taxes in a bankruptcy. Again, not true. There are some older taxes that can be eliminated, just like a credit card debt or a medical bill. If your taxes are more than 3 years old and you have filed your tax returns on time, most likely those taxes will be discharged just like a credit card or a medical bill. However, let's say you've had some taxes from last year or the year before, so they're not 3 years old, and the IRS is coming after you. Some people think, well, what am I going to do with it? I can't get rid of those taxes. You can, but it will be through a payment process through a Chapter 13. But normally that payment process is a lot less painful than dealing directly with the IRS. It cuts down penalties, it cuts down some of the interest, allows you to pay those taxes so they don't garnish your wages or seize your property. And that's usually better for the family and better for your situation. So these are myths I wanted to debunk. I hope I've been able to do that with you today. Thank you. This is Alan Murphy with Gillespie Murphy.